Hello everyone. We're getting fancy now. We are streaming live on YouTube as well as in two groups. I got my adorable little logo. What do you guys think? My new logo. I'm pretty satisfied with it. I'm a little excited about it. I am really excited. Just so you guys know, I don't know if your comments on Facebook are going to be integrated or not, or if I'm only going to be able to see them if they are on YouTube. And if you guys have not checked out YouTube, it's simply youtube.com/Savvy Groomer and you will see this live. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start. Hi, Peter. It's great to see you live. So for those of you guys that do not know me, my name is River Lee. I am the founder of the Savvy Groomer, where I teach busy pet professionals how to live a life. You know, I should put it this way. Too many groomers own a job and not a business. At Savvy Groomer, I teach pet professionals how to make simple changes in their business so they can grow a business that is successful. At Savvy Groomer, we know you want to be a savvy pet professional with a business you can be proud of. In order to do that, you need to know how to manage your business so that you can own a business, not just a job. The problem is you hear lots of advice that doesn't actually make a difference, which makes you feel frustrated, overwhelmed, and like a failure. You know, you've been putting in all this effort and you have nothing to show for it. We believe no one's dream should fail. I understand I had to learn a lot of this knowledge the hard way or outside the grooming industry. I use my expertise to work with groomers all around the world and have a proven track record. So let's go ahead and jump into today's topic. Anne says she loves my logo. Thank you. I'm very excited. I feel all fancy dancy. So I figured we could have a little bit of a lighthearted discussion today about when you don't follow your own policies. And I really would love some engagement on this. I think it's a fun topic because we all done goof. And sometimes we want to make exceptions. And when those exceptions happen, sometimes they, don't always work out. Hi, Erin. Good to see you. So, and it was funny because I was talking to a good friend of mine, Lynn Pello. She works for the National Cat Groomers Institute, and she actually owns her own grooming and boarding facility for cats only. Hi, Turquoise Laura. Good to see you. And she had made an exception. So right now she's currently booked about 4 to 5 weeks out. And she's in New Jersey. And so this client wasn't exactly a new client, but it's like the girlfriend had the cat and the cat was mad at now. And it was basically, please, please, please squeeze me in. Please, please, please squeeze me in. And what does she do? She squeezes the cat in. And then what happens? She has to chase this customer for their paperwork. The customer is just completely being silly and, is not following through. They wanted this appointment so badly. And then guess what? Then they didn't show up for their appointment. They canceled 90 minutes before their appointment and then wanted to know when was the quickest they could get back in. This kind of client is the client that we've all had. It's the please make me an exception. And then when they are an exception, guess what they do? They make us remind us why we had the policies in the first place. It happens. And I'm not immune to this either. I mean, the truth is I'm a business owner and I'm a regular person and I've definitely done more of it in the past. Like I have done enough stupid in my 10 years of owning a business. Like I have done things that in the beginning of my business that I'm like, why would I ever do that? And it's because I didn't know, and that's where I like to teach my coaching clients so they don't have to learn the hard way. Erin's saying I printed out the workbook and I'm filling it out. Yay. Yay. For those of you guys that do not know, currently my membership, which is the Grow Wealthy Grooming membership, it is only $35 a month. We're going through some great transitions and we are revamping it. It is going to be amazing. I'm super excited. For those of you guys that are in the foundation, are going to stay at that foundational price. And then anyone who's going to come new into the group, don't worry. There's going to be so much value that It's going to be totally worth it. So one thing I want to talk about, and I would love some interaction today, I think this is really fun, is what is the worst thing you've ever done? And I don't mean like, terrible thing, but what is something that you've ever done in your business where you broke policy and you knew it was going to bite you in the butt? And then when it happened, you were like, why did I do that? So I actually had an entire week. I don't know, there must be some sort of planet in retrograde. Something is in the air like the crazy. I mean, everyone's being wild too. But there's obviously something going on in the world where something's going on. Because I had on Saturday and Sunday 2 instances where actually my employee broke policy and it ended up biting me in the butt. So for the faint of heart, don't look. But I'm going to share a picture. So like I said, if you're a faint of heart, don't look. You're probably not faint of heart because you're a groomer. So long story short, my employee, we have the opposite problem. So if you are a dog grooming business, you usually have lots and lots and lots of people that are, calling you about cats. And I have the opposite. Right now, I have so many people calling about dogs. And I want nothing to do with dogs right now because let me tell you, cats, they come in a carrier or the owner's holding it. I put the air muzzle on. If they're aggressive, I can put nail caps on, all the thing. And so what happened? She said, my employee says to me, hey, is there any way I can do dogs on Saturday because I don't groom on the weekends? And I said, I guess there's no problem with that. What am I going to say? No, she wants to work extra hours and you know what? Fine. You can take dogs on Saturday. So what happens now, if you're a dog groomer, you're probably like, cats are dangerous. Cats will do this. Cats will do that. Knock on wood. I have not had a single bad bite or anything of that nature since I've been grooming cats. So my groomer has been grooming, I'd say like 8 years. And so what happened on Saturday? Ready, guys? So it's not super bad, but it was bad enough that my groomer, she didn't even get the dog in the van. She literally had the dog on a slip lead. She went to go pick up the dog. There was no growling. There was no signs of aggression. The dog has no history of aggression. She went to go pick up the dog. The dog latched onto her arm, shook it, ripped it open. So then my employee is being, left that house and she had to go, I had to cancel the rest of the day's appointments because she had booked a bunch of other dogs. And then she ended up in the ER to have it flushed. And because she has autoimmune issues, she would have to go back again on Sunday. So I got to call all of those dog customers that I didn't really want in the first place, which made me kind of resentful, which is it's not a very appropriate thing to be. As a business owner, I can't be resentful. But in the moment, I'm like, I told you we shouldn't take these dogs. I knew this was going to happen. This is why we didn't take dogs. And it's not that you can't do dogs and cats. And obviously she's more than capable of doing dogs. It's just our policies in place were built for cats. So the intake that she was doing really wasn't appropriate for dogs. And honestly, I feel like we just the craziness in the air is just bringing in all of that nonsense. So on Saturday, my groomer gets bit. And I had to make a decision. Do I go out and groom these dogs or do I call them and I reschedule them? And what do? I reschedule them for Sunday. Seems reasonable, right? She's going to go get some antibiotics. Doctor said she has to come back on Sunday to flush everything out, do all of that. Okay. So everything should be fine, right? Because she's okay. She's going to be taken care of. So then what happens? I know, I'm kind of embarrassed to share all of this. Like I'm a little vulnerable and, but these are real things. We are in a business and when you're in a business, guess what? Sometimes things happen. So I'm going to put up my other photo. So that's my grooming van. it ended up being towed. So she's on her way. And what happens, right? You're like, what happens? So we talk about it. And she's able to do the dogs. So she does all the dogs. And on Monday, she's going to be at an appointment that is right near her house. And it's a very long appointment. It's about $1,000 appointment. So I don't know how many cats that is. Whatever many cats it is. And I'm like, that's fine. You can bring it home and then go to the next appointment in the morning. Well, so what happens? She's on the highway. She gives me a call. The van's died. Like, what do you mean the van died? The van died. I'm like, I don't understand. This van, there's nothing wrong with it. It's, very well taken care of. What happened to my van? I'm thinking my baby, is it the engine died? During COVID, we took it to Valvoline to get an oil change because we could not get into Mercedes. Like, I'm thinking all the things that happened. It's only got 34,000 miles. It's a 4-year-old van. There's no reason for this to happen. And for those of you guys that don't have sprinters, you can't drag it by the back 2 wheels. You have to put it on a flatbed. So it was just all this nonsense. And I'm sitting there like racking my head, like, what could it be? What could it be? And we don't really have policies either on how the van dies. So this is a great opportunity for me to go, okay, what are the policies going to be? And she's freaking out and I'm freaking out because we don't have policies on it. Which, shame on me. But you know what? Sometimes you don't think about things until they happen. Well, so we have a policy that when you are in the van, you are required to leave it at least half full at the end of the day. And if you are in between grooms, you are required to fill it if it's down to 1/4 of a tank. That is the policy. And sometimes people do not follow policies. And then your van ends up on the side of the road and towed because your employee ran out of gas. Now, I'm very grateful that it was something so simple, that it was just she ran out of gas. But I also wanted to kill her because I'm like, you didn't follow procedure. There's a reason we have a procedure. And for those of you guys that may not know with your sprinters, that to protect the engine, the van will shut off if you run low. And it does that way you don't hurt your engine. So, and it was on E. Like, it was on E. She knew it was on E. I guess there was a gas station on the way to the client the next day, which was today. And she was like, okay, well, I'm going to just fill up before that appointment. And in the moment, I can see where she made that decision. And it's hard because, like, as a business owner, I'm pissed. Pissed. Well, so Aaron was saying, what? Call AAA for gas. It's cheaper. So we didn't know it was out of gas. That was the thing, is that it was actually the delightful AAA person who asked my groomer, because we were racking. We were like, what happened? And I'm panicking. I'm like, I don't want to pay for a new engine. This is a basically new van, and then I'm like, because I thought about trading in and upgrading and da-da-da-da. No, but this is why we have policies, right? And when we do not follow policies and procedures, things happen and they remind us why we have policies and procedures. And we knew better. She knew better than to wait until the van was on E, but she chose to do it anyway. Now, thankfully, it didn't hurt the van, but it was towed. Thankfully, she had AAA. I was probably 45 minutes away, which in Rhode Island, that's the whole state. She was basically the entire state away from me. And so I was trying to figure out what was the best thing to do. There was a cop that went there, and then, it's not marked at night because we take the magnets off. Why? Because you know why? Because getting bird poop off of magnets is stupid. And I don't want people bothering us. We need them to leave us alone. So it looks like really shady. She's on the side of the road with this like unmarked van. But it was just, everything could have been way worse. And as a business owner, I have to go, okay, ultimately everything comes down to me. Ultimately, everything's my fault because it's the leader's responsibility. Was she incompetent, or did she not understand how much the policy meant? And I've definitely pushed gas. And I'm very grateful that the AAA guy was smart enough to be like, hey, are you low on gas? Maybe we should stop, on the way to Mercedes, because they were towing it to Mercedes, and put some diesel in it. And I'm like going red. I'm like, this is just, and it's embarrassing, but I want to share with you guys things like that because we all do it. And no one's better than anything. We just have to go, okay, this is what's happening and how can we fix it? Erin's got a good one. Erin's saying, she took walk-ins on a Saturday, bites you in the butt every time. It's so true. If you have a policy to not take walk-ins on a Saturday, the dog that comes in, they're like, oh, I'm in town and it's like a lab and it's going to take 5 minutes. And it's always a matadoodle. It's always that way. We used to always have a policy that every new client would be at the end of the day. I started this in my salon mainly because then if I needed to talk to the client, if there was something going on, so I always tried to make it towards the end of the day. And I swear every time I made it the first appointment of the day, they either didn't show up or they were batshit crazy and we had like a busy day. And now it's like it would take 2 or 3 times the amount of time and I wouldn't have the extra hands because everyone is starting with their dogs for the day. And in the mobile unit, if I run late on the first appointment, now I'm running late to every appointment the rest of the day. And so we put in these policies and we know better, but then and then, bites us in the butt. Guys, that's the hard part. And it's not like it's being a bad business owner. It's just being human. And every time it happens, it's one of those things that we have to go, okay, why did I do this? In my employee's case, with the van, it was her trying to just get home early. And then as an employer, I'm like, okay, am I asking her to work too long of hours? And I don't think so. I think it was just an oversight for her. And then with the dog bite. Now, a dog bite, it was funny. She's not funny, haha, but I'm laughing because I'm an asshole. She's been grooming 8 years. She's never been bit bad. And I laughed. I said, man, you've been lucky. Like, I have been bit so bad. The worst 2 bites I ever had is I had a pug bite me. And the thing just chomped on me. I don't remember where it was, but I just remember its little bug eyes staring at me as it was latched onto me. And I was like, do I just scruff it and its eyeballs are going to pop out? What do I do? Just rah. And I was like, Jesus, what do I do now? I think that was just bad because I didn't know what to do. Because not that you would scruff a dog, get you off, but if it's chomped on me, what am I supposed to do? In that moment, you're just ah. I think it was doing the pug's nails. And then the other time was I had 2 dogs in a crate when I had my shop. And I remember it was a Yorkie and it was a Shih Tzu. And the Shih Tzu was aggressive. But the Shih Tzu had I had a bandana and I was just thinking about it. And it just was I should take this bandana off because I'm afraid he's going to choke himself. But what was ironic is that the Yorkie latched onto my hand. It latched on right here, and there's actually a scar right here. And it latched onto me, and I couldn't close my hand for 2 weeks. It was so infected, and it was pussing. I know, yummy. This is right around dinner time. And it was so awful. And yeah, that's what happened. But with my play with the dogs, sometimes when and I hate using this word, so forgive me. Sometimes when we are greedy, it bites us in the ass. her energy, and you guys know I'm granola crunchy. Her energy was less about serving clients and more of like, this is a way to make quick, easy money. Because those dog grooming clients were willing to pay cat prices. So I think in my area, an average like mobile dog is like $80 to $100. Our cat comb cuts start at $145. So these people were willing to pay between $145 and $200 plus. And so, I had to coach my employee a little bit and say, listen, sometimes, we want to make money, and I respect that. But generally, when you give out that energy of wanting to take advantage, the universe doesn't like that. The universe is going to come back and it's going to teach you a lesson. I said, and, you got taught a lesson, and she did those dogs. And I said, do you want to book more dogs? And she's like, I think I'm all set. And I'm like, I'm happy to hear that. Now, again, if she really does want to service dogs, I would definitely consider that. Mainly because your girl's lazy. And cat baths are super easy. And if she wants to go through dogs, it's fine. But my issue is with my business model, I have no interest in doing dogs. So if she leaves, then I don't want to be stuck with dog clients. That's a whole nother conversation. But see, that's the thing, though, is things like that when you go against your policy. Like if we're Rhode Island cat grooming, then if we start taking dogs and then she quits or whatever, hopefully she would take them with her. But if she doesn't, then I have to deal with them. And I don't want to deal with them because I'm lazy. I don't even want to admit, I'm like, because I'm lazy. Because cats are easier. Cats are better money and they're easier. I had to do my own standard poodle. I was like, why am I doing this? This is terrible. Anna's saying, no appointments the same day. Yes. When I had my salon, every time I took one the same day, it was a batshit crazy dog or cat. Isn't it true? Like, I always... we had so many grooming salons in our area. We had 6 within a 2-mile radius. And same day appointments were always nerve-wracking. I generally did not take them, but you're absolutely right. Every time we would take same day appointments for nails. We did no walk-ins. Because, like, what am I supposed to do? You walk in and I have to just stop everything to service you, but just ignore all those other clients that made appointments? I always thought that was weird. But it's so funny because, like, it would be like, did you just get kicked out of a salon down the street and now you're going to try your luck here? And a lot of times that's what it was. I'd be like, your dog's half shaved. What are you doing here? And they're like, oh yeah, down the street. He just kicked us out. And I'm like, and you had a dog that was so aggressive. They got kicked out. They only half shaved it. And now it's all pissed off and stressed out, and you thought it would be wise to bring it to my shop. Well, yeah, okay. I mean, sure. I mean, at least give the dog a day off. Like, at least let the dog go home and relax and recuperate. But, I mean, hey, whatever, right? Obviously, you just want your dog shaved so badly. Well, I hope this has been a lighthearted conversation. I wanted it to be a little bit more lighthearted. I feel like lately things have been really bogged down. We've had a lot of strategies for tragedy. We've had strategies for recovery. And even though the world is basically on fire, I think we're going to be okay. Those of us that have our shops or our mobiles, sorry, house call people, you're fucked. But everybody else, we're doing okay, and we're going to be able to recover. House call, you're going to become mobiles, or house call, you're going to end up opening a shop up in your house. I don't know what you're going to do. Unfortunately, you're getting a little screwed. But we're going to be okay. Our businesses are all going to recover. And for those of you guys that don't have a lot of policies, I'm a big fan of policies because it's always good to have guidelines. I am going to take the time and I'm going to create guidelines for if the van shuts down, check the gas. Oh my God. You know, call AAA. It might be worth it for me to get AAA for the van. I only have the one employee right now and she's got AAA. I don't even have AAA. I have a newer regular vehicle. So I might have to get AAA for the business. These are all great things that, we can learn through contrast in these really silly things. And you may find, I know you really can't take same day appointments with your van, but, if you do want to take a same day appointment, you can always say, what is it that's going to be acceptable and what's not, and that's tough. If someone sees your van and you're right next door and it's the last cat of the day, are you willing to go and do that or not? And then if you ever do get an employee, it's a really easy way they don't have to guess, and even then sometimes they're going to do stupid shit because groomers be crazy, yo. It's cool. I'm really happy. I'm really happy everything worked out. Erin is saying, that's a great topic. What to do when COVID has made you change your business? I think that would be a great topic. I'm definitely going to write that down because I think that would be a great conversation to have. I think a lot of us are pivoting. And I think a lot of us see opportunities that may or may not be right for our business. Like I said, I'm feeling exclusive. And as I added a staff member, I don't really want to pivot into dog grooming, but it is something I have to consider. If I have people banging on my doors willing to pay cat prices, we're talking mediocre grooms too. Because I told my groomer, I said, this is you can have a 10, a 7, a 5, a 4, and a 1/2-inch comb if I'm feeling nice. Don't do anything fancy. There's no patterns. I said, because I pay for all of her sharpening. And I supply all of her grooming equipment. And it's I have so much grooming stuff. But I'm not buying stuff for you if you're going to do this. But that's what's interesting is that, we can all pivot at any point in our business. We can reevaluate things as they continue to happen. Tony Robbins says this great phrase. He said, fall in love with your customers because your products and your services are ever evolving. That is just such a great quote. And I'll say it again if I can remember it right. Fall in love with your customers because your products and services are always evolving. Anna is saying, not happening, even if I had room. She's talking about not having someone take the same day. But see, that's great. And as long as you have that policy, that's the best part. Because then you have the policy in place. And as long as you actually follow your own policies. Because we all do. Sometimes we break our policies and sometimes it works out. But I would say 9 out of 10 times they blow up in our face. Because if they were a 50-50 shot, you probably wouldn't have made it a policy. Right? That's just the honest truth, isn't it? So I know I'm all fancy dancy. I'm look at this. This is pretty spiffy, guys. This is my new cover. So thank you for joining me on my Grow Wealthy Grooming with River Lee. It's a live show. We're actually going to be turning this into a podcast, which I'm really excited about. I'm so excited about all of the changes that are coming to this group. I want to invite you guys to come to my free Facebook group called Savvy Pet Professionals. And in this group, we primarily talk about personal finance, business, and lifestyle. And that's at facebook.com/group/Savvy Groomer. Sorry, I'm blah, 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 blah. I know, I can't keep up with the transitions. I wish I could. Boop. And like I said, if you guys want to join Grow Wealthy Grooming, July 1st, we're going to have our new launch, which I'm really excited about. It is currently $35 a month. You can actually shorten that if you go savvygroomer.com/GWG, as in Grow Wealthy Grooming. I don't know why I decided to make it really long. I was like, and then it just made it shorter. So you can go to the long version or the short. Either way, I'm happy. Well, guys, I'm going to start keeping this show at a tight 30 minutes because I know y'all got stuff to do. And that gives you time to go get a snacky, do what you got to do for Mary's show. It has been awesome talking to you guys. Erin, I'm going to write down that idea. I'm going to steal that. And I would love to do that next week. And if you guys want to, I'll even post in both my Grow Wealthy Grooming group. For those of you guys who don't know, when you sign up for Grow Wealthy Grooming, we actually have a private Facebook group. I'm going to be doing more lives in there because they are part of my paid membership. But in the free group, I love getting ideas from you guys so we can do stuff on the show. The more I can help you guys and support you guys, the better. Yes, I do have to charge for my services, and yes, I have to make some money, but it's really important to me that those of you guys that are not ready to invest financially in yourselves at least have free things that you can start on your journey. I know how scary it is to invest money into your business. It's easier to pick up a $400 pair of shears than it is to pay $400 for coaching. It's a lot easier to go and buy a $100,000 grooming van than pay $10,000 a year in coaching. I totally understand, but I know that for those of you guys that when you're ready, I am here. All right, guys. So I have to play with my screen because I gotta get to that screen. It's kind of weird. I wish you guys could see this. I am not good at talking and working with my hands, which is really weird because I'm a groomer. I think I've been in the van too long. I used to be able to groom all day and talk, and now I'm trying to click buttons and talk and look at I have little arrows where the little hole is, what is that called, camera. And it's just a lot, man. I don't know, man. Some days I'm a hot mess, but it's all good. Anyway, guys, I look forward to seeing you on the outside, and I will see you here next week. Please, please, please subscribe, comment, and share that on YouTube because that is going to help me. The more people we have on YouTube, the further reach we're going to get. My goal is to help more people. This is a great free resource for people that want to step up in their business. And it is hard. It's hard to be a business owner, especially in the grooming industry, because we have a physically hard job, an emotionally hard job. We're one of a kind. That's why y'all got my heart. Bye, guys. Happy grooming.